Hey everybody, welcome back to our video series where we take the Word Wielders, the characters of the unseen, and we're going to break them down for you and show you each one of their gifts and abilities as they progress through the game. We're also going to dive a little bit into their personal weapons and some other unseen rules that you might not have noticed. So I hope these videos are going to be helpful for you guys. Stay tuned. Here's the next one. Okay guys, today we are going to go over Aria, the Song Bringer. She is a discerner, which means she gets to choose her specialization in the very beginning. So as it says over here, it says before you start, select your specialization by choosing a weapon type token to place under Aria'S name. That will give you a light boost to that specific weapon type. So we're going to choose prayers just for this particular scenario, but you can choose ranged or melee if you like. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go with prayers because our starting weapon is actually a prayer. Now, remember, you can utilize any weapon that's not your specialization in the game. It's just that you're going to get certain benefits for using certain types of weapons, depending on your gifts and what you choose to equip. So let's begin with our starting weapon. It's a prayer type weapon. It has a distance of 0 to 1, and the blessing is, if equipped, you have the gift Anointing. Now, anointing is pretty simple. Normally when you have to pray for healing, if we look at our quick list here, we'll read anointing. Anytime during the chosen phase, you may spend action tokens as if they were guidance prayer tokens to pray for healing. Pray for healing is now a trust of 7. So usually when you're making a guidance prayer, so you would spend your guidance prayer token up here and flip that over, and she wants to pray for healing. Well, normally it's a 10. For her, it's a 7. So that wouldn't have been successful, but she can continue to use her actions to pray for healing if she chooses, and that's a 7. Now, when you're using your actions for anointing, you can also do this out of turn anytime during the chosen phase. Okay, let's take a look at her first refinement level. It is the blue refinement level, and she earns Prayer Warrior. You may spend action tokens as if they are guidance prayer tokens. So in addition to anointing, where you can use your action tokens to pray for healing, now she can make any guidance prayer using action tokens if she chooses. So she can use her action tokens to pray for discernment, pray to reveal, pray for deliverance. Healing is still a trust of 7 if she has anointing, and she can also pray for miracles using her action tokens, and she can do this anytime during the chosen phase. So you and your team have defeated the Prince of Doubt, and you have gained the yellow refinement level. Aria gains divine speed and tread lightly. Okay, divine speed. You may move 2 zones for every move action made. Ignore darkness that would expose, auto strike, spawn strike, and or bound for zones you pass through, but this will apply to zones you end in. So let me just give you an example. Okay, just a reminder guys, this is what the miniatures look like when they come out of the box. They're highly detailed, ready to paint. I have a set of painted minis here that we're going to use just for the purpose of film because it's just a little bit easier to see. Aria is over here, and she's in a zone where typically she would be bound. There is a horde in there with her, along with the Lord of Hatred, so normally she wouldn't be able to move. Now, she has tread lightly. You cannot be bound, you can still be webbed or shackled. So now she can move in and out of there freely, where normally she wouldn't be able to because she has tread lightly. She also has divine speed. Now, divine speed will allow her to move 2 zones for 1 action. So she would spend an action, and you could move all the way over here if she'd like. Now, keep in mind, let's just say she was over here and she wanted to move 2 actions into the pit. If she moves into the pit and that's where she stays, she will get spawn struck. But if she were to go through the pit and over here, she would not. Now let's just say that this is a horde over here. If she moves into that zone and that's where she stops, that's where she would get auto struck because hordes auto strike. So she's very, very quick, very, very fast, and she's very hard to hold down. That is divine speed and tread lightly. The next refinement level is the Sword of the Spirit, the red refinement level. She gains in his time. If you missed when making a combat roll, you can re-roll your light die. The new result takes the place of the previous one. Enemies won't strike back or spawn strike if the first roll is missed. So again, Aria is in this zone. There's a bunch of enemies in there. So she's going to go after this guilt on the top here. And she chooses her weapon. She's going to use the Burning Harp. She makes a strike, and she gets a 6. That means it's a miss, but because she has in his time, she gets to re-roll that. And she gets a 14. meaning that she gets to take the enemy off the board. Notice that when I misrolled the first time, I did not block because you get a chance to try to reroll before that happens. Now, if she would have missed the second one, the strike back would have happened and she would have had to block. So you and your team have defeated the Counselor of Fear and you have gained your green refinement level. Aria gains the gift Do Not Forsake. Spend 1 action to swap places with a bound wielder. You must have the line of sight, distance any, and they may choose to deny the swap. You can do this even if either of you are bound or if they are webbed or overwhelmed, but not if either of you are shackled. Spawn/auto strike still apply for both wielders after the swap. So Key and Asher are in this zone with the Lord of Hatred and a Horde. They're in a lot of trouble. They've all spent their turns, their actions are up, but Aria wants to get in there and try to help them out. So she's going to spend an action to move down here. Then she's going to spend another action to use Do Not Forsake, which she's going to choose Key, swap places with him, put herself in there and move him into safety. Now at that point she would have to block because there is a horde in there. They would auto strike, but she has a few actions. She can go offensive while she's in there, and she also has tread lightly, so if she decides she wants to get out there at any point, she could just pop on back for her last action. You could do this as many times as you can during your turn. So if she has a remaining action, let's just say she swapped places with Key and then moved back out after she blocked, she could also swap places with Asher and then stay in there for the darkness phase. That's just a way to look at things tactfully with using that ability. That is Do Not Forsake. Let's move on. So you and your team have defeated the Duke of Sickness and you all have earned your purple refinement level. Aria gains the gift Spirit Guide Them. Free action. If you have this gift, place the Page of Light token here. Anytime during a chosen phase, you may offer it to another wielder, distance any, to use as an action or guidance prayer token at that moment. This may be used even if you are webbed, sick, shackled, or overwhelmed. Reset this token at the beginning of each chosen phase. So at any moment during the chosen phase, you'll have this Page of Light token here. And whenever you deem necessary, you will take that page, spend it, and allow any other player on the board to make an action or a guidance prayer or anything that they choose to do at that moment. Now, this can be done if you're overwhelmed. It can be done if you're shackled or webbed. There are no hindrances of being able to use this as long as it's during the chosen phase. You and your team have defeated the King of Suffering and have earned your black refinement level. Aria gains the gift Radiance. This is the Belt of Truth. You have a +1 light boost. This gift stacks with itself and all other light boosts. So no matter what weapon you're using in the game, it doesn't matter if it's your specialization or not, you will always have a light boost as long as you have Radiance on, and it gets added to any other light boosts you may have, increasing this die here. So a 19 would become a 20 plus any other light boosts you may have. At any time during the game when you are guarding, if the enemy strike die is a 6 and you roll a 10, that is a perfect faith. That means every darkness in that zone are defeated, and you gain your white refinement level for the remainder of the game. Now, another way that you will earn your white refinement level is if you defeat the Lord of Hatred and you're going into the final battle against the Beast. But once you gain that white refinement level for Aria, she has the gift Heaven's Strength. If you miss when using the weapon type of your specialization, you have a minus strike boost. Also, if you have no burdens, you have a +1 light boost. So at any time during the game when you're using the weapon of your specialization, in her case now, she's using prayers, you will gain a -1 strike boost. So if you have to guard, this is reduced by 1. Taking a 6 to a 5. Now, if she doesn't have any burdens at all, she will have an added light boost, which she can add to any other light boost. Her specialization, Radiance, that takes it up to 3, and any other weapons she might have that have light boosts, increasing this die by that much. And that is it for Aria the Song Bringer. She's very dynamic, very swift, and she is a great healer. I highly recommend to people that if they are playing for the first time, it's good to have Aria on their team because she's really good at keeping burdens off of people and getting people out of danger and moving very swiftly when you guys get separated. She's not mandatory to be used, but she's very helpful, especially if you're not adapted to the deeper rules of the game. Well, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Keep in mind that we're going to be doing more of these videos, one for every character, so that's 9 videos. I'm going to try to put one up a week. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Check us out on theunseen.game.com, and remember, the game is available now, And we're going to be doing some other videos on how to play PvP and some other things. If you like this video, if it was helpful for you, please like, subscribe, post, share. That's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.